I'm going to gradually pour it in a little bit at a time here. Whoa. Okay, more came out than I wanted. Oops. Hey guys, it's Holly. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be me making some chocolate chip dip for my mom today. It's her birthday and it's one of her favorite things to have. The recipe is actually a family recipe. My grandmother, which is her mom, showed me how to make it when I was a little girl, probably, I don't even know, maybe 9 or 10 years old. And my grandmother just passed away a year ago. So this recipe is very simple. There's a lot of recipes out there like this recipe where you add more ingredients and so on and so forth, but to keep my grandma's memory alive, I stick to the basic ingredients that she used, and every time I make it and eat it, it makes me think of her. So let's jump on into it and I'll show you how I make my grandmother's chocolate chip dip. Okay, so the ingredients are pretty simple. I'm actually going to be doubling the ingredients. So I have 3 things of cream cheese, 2 sticks of butter. I'm going to be using brown sugar, chocolate chips, and that is all this recipe calls for, guys. It is very simple, but like I said, I'm going to be doubling it. Normally this would be half of everything just to make one batch of this. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is, oh, and by the way, the cream cheese and the butter has to sit out at room temperature. You don't want to melt it, and it's not going to mix well if it's hard. So I'm just going to open these up and put them in the bowl. The normal recipe would be 1.5 cream cheeses instead of 3. And I do not have this written down anywhere. This is coming from memory. Okay, so I have 2 cream cheeses in there so far. Just gonna put the 3rd one in. I'm not used to filming in the kitchen, so it's really hard to find a place to put the camera. I wanted to put it where you could see inside the bowl, but I just don't think that's gonna happen, so I'm sorry. Okay, all 3 cream cheeses are in there. Just gonna throw this stuff away. I try to clean up as I go so I don't have such a mess. Okay, and then what I do is I go ahead and just stir this up with the blender. Until it looks very fluffy like that. Now I'm going to add my 2 sticks of butter. Okay, and you want to get it nice and fluffy. And then you're going to add brown sugar. I just have the, you want to make sure you use a light brown sugar though. I'm just using the Giant Eagle brand because that's what I have. Now the brown sugar I can just play around with. I don't really measure it. I mean, I am going to pour it in a measuring cup so I have something to go off of. And I normally pour about 1 cup in there. Sometimes it takes less and sometimes it takes a little bit more since I doubled the recipe. When my grandmother used to make this, I remember her clumping, yeah. I remember her stirring in the brown sugar with a fork and trying to get the clumps out. And she would have me doing it on the side of the bowl with a fork. And I used to do that for many years until I just got really aggravated with it, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna try to use a mixer on this and see how it does. Okay. So there's the batter. I'm not gonna pour all the, I'm not gonna pour all the brown sugar in at once. I'm gonna break it up a little bit here. I'm gonna start mixing that in. Okay, it's still very white looking, and you want the color to be a light brown color. So we're gonna add the rest of our brown sugar in here. Stir that in. Okay, not sure if you can see the color of that, but I'm gonna add a little bit more brown sugar just because I'm not liking the way that that's looking. I'm just gonna pour it directly from the bag. I'm not gonna measure this. Okay. Mix that in. Scrape the sides of the bowl so that I can get all that incorporated in here and get it mixed in. This is very smooth, if you can see. And all I'm going to do now is add some semi-sweet chocolate chips. I mean, you can use milk chocolate chips if you want. I just prefer the taste that the semi-sweet gives to the dip. So I'm going to add some chocolate chips to it now. Get rid of these. Let me get rid of these bad boys. These I don't measure at all, I just pour. And I personally like a lot of chocolate chips, and this is from my mom, so I'm pretty sure that she likes a lot of chocolate chips too. So I just pour, and I just start stirring. As you can see, what I just added, it's very sparse, so I might end up just using the whole bag. Really, it's just the taste though. I mean, my grandmother used to make this for me. I used to go over there on the weekends a lot, and she used to make this, and when I first tasted it, I hated it. Like, I don't know if it was the cream cheese in it, it gave it like a sour to me when I was little. It gave me like a sour taste. And I just was like, blah, you know, this is like the grossest thing ever. And then I kept going over there, and she kept telling me to try it. And then eventually I acquired a taste for it. And I don't know if it's just because I was a kid and I was picky, I didn't like it. But there's a lot of adults that I have made this for like a party or something, and they're like, oh my gosh, that's terrible. So this is you either love it or you hate it. It's just kind of the way it is. Me, I could sit right here and eat this whole batch and gorge on it like a hog and make myself sick. Hi. What I'm gonna do now is just transfer this over into a prettier bowl and top it with some chocolate chips, and I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. Okay, I put it in the container, and I'm just gonna sprinkle chocolate chips on the top of it. Honestly, normally I try to make it a little more prettier than this, but it's really hard to do this while holding the camera. Okay. And that is it, guys. And you serve them on Ritz crackers, and it actually tastes better chilled. So I'm actually gonna put this in the refrigerator. Oh, it's got some dip on it. I'm gonna wash that off, and then I'm going to put this in the refrigerator and let it chill, and then I am going to take it to my mom today. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this short little video of how to make chocolate chip dip. I love it. If you ever decide to try it and make it, let me know. Like I said, you're either gonna love it or hate it, but definitely it tastes better chilled, so make sure you put it in the fridge and get it chilled a little bit first. I mean, you can eat it like that on the Ritz crackers. I just personally think it tastes better chilled. So anyway, thanks for watching this video, guys. If you like it, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys on my next one. Bye!